welcome back to my channel. And before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and give me a big thumbs up. Today we are going to be reacting to the top 10 Star Wars lightsaber battles. Let's do it.
Earn your degree faster at Purdue University Global. With over 175 online.
I would not movie Flame. This guy's name. Okay.
Star Wars has an ever-expanding universe. There are now loads of movies, TV shows, books, and comics. In this video, I'm going to focus on one thing that people always seem to talk about: lightsaber battles. I'm going to count down the top 10 lightsaber battles in my opinion. This could be based on pure spectacle, fight choreography, or emotion behind the fight. So let's get started.
Top 10 lightsaber battles.
Number 10. Kylo Ren and Rey versus the Praetorian Guards. This scene has some great choreography, incredible camera work, and has some shocking moments. Seeing Rey and Kylo fight side by side was great, especially considering where we saw them at the end of the last movie. One thing that I love about this scene is how it pays homage to the throne scene in Return of the Jedi. The old Sith master tortures the young hero, and the apprentice of the Sith Lord kills his master to save that hero. The way they fight is so wild and so unpredictable. They made it look as if this wasn't even choreographed. Also, the kills that each of them make are crazy. At the end of the fight, we see the destruction of Anakin's lightsaber, something that has been passed down through so many Star Wars films and so many Star Wars characters.
This weapon is your life. Your father's lightsaber.
Kept it locked away.
Where'd you get that?
A good question for another time.
Number 9. Anakin vs. Ventress. This was from the original Clone Wars series before we got the 2008 version. I'm a huge fan of this series. A big factor of that might be nostalgia, because I remember watching it in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I love how the series finale led right into Episode 3, and I remember watching it the night before I went to see Revenge of the Sith in theaters. But now about the fight. This scene makes great use of all aspects of their powers, from their lightsaber skills to using the Force to throw things and jump. It also takes full advantage of the surroundings they're in, making the fight so entertaining. It starts on the ground, then in the trees as they hop from branch to branch, swing on vines, then they make their way to a temple as it starts to rain. I love the shot where the lightsaber is getting rained on. The sound is just so satisfying and really builds up the suspense. The animation with the light reflecting on their faces was so well done. The ending of the fight is the best part. We see Anakin bring out his inner dark side. I love how when he smashes on Ventress, shots of Obi-Wan and Yoda appear, and that scream at the end is just awesome. Number 8. Akron vs. Thexon, the Eternal Twins. This fight from the Old Republic was short, but the build-up to the fight was magnificent, and made the short fight mean so much more. The two in the fight are twin brothers that are best friends. We watch them grow up together, laugh together, train together, and protect one another. And both tried to please their father. The two went through hell on the battlefield, Akron even sustaining a permanent handicap much like Darth Vader, but not as bad. All of that leads us to the actual fight. Akron, driven by resentment toward his father, makes a killing move toward him. Thexon pulls him back with the Force, and the two fight until Akron then kills his brother. The look in his eye, realizing what he had done, is just so powerful. The twins' final moments together, staring into each other's eyes, says so much without a word of dialogue. We see their hands connect at the beginning of the story, and see their hands release at the end, bringing us full circle.
No, that's just sad. Another commercial! What the heck? I don't like commercials, guys.
Number 7. Obi-Wan, or Ben Kenobi, versus Darth Vader.
If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
You can't have a top 10 lightsaber list without the very first one. When Lucas wrote this, he knew how much this fight meant, even when the audience didn't. He knew about the downfall of their friendship, and knew that this was the first time they had met since then. It might not be that impressive looking at it from a spectacle standpoint, but the fight is paired with many emotions, shame, regret, and honestly sadness as well. Number 6. Kylo Ren vs. Rey. This too had a lot of emotion, as Kylo Ren had just killed his father, Han Solo, someone who Rey also looked to as a father figure.
I feel like he's the father you never had. He would have disappointed you.
So in a way, both of them lost a father before this fight. That alone makes their drive to beat the other on maximum. There are a few things I have to point out. One is the strength of Kylo Ren. He was shot with Chewie's cannon, something that obliterated anyone else who was hit with it. But he ate it like a boss, and he still put up an amazing fight. Also, this should clear up the haters commenting that Rey shouldn't have won because she wasn't trained and Kylo was. If anyone else had been hit by Chewie's cannon, they would not have even been able to get up. The fact that he got up, beat Finn, and fought Rey while blood was spitting out of him shows how strong he really is.
Yeah.
The second
Dude,
thing
I'm recording a YouTube
Rey
video.
calls the lightsaber to herself and uses the Force for the first time, other than when she did the mind trick. The lightsaber comes out of the snow, and the music starts playing. I remember sitting in the theater with chills running down my body. This is also a great Easter egg to The Empire Strikes Back, when Luke used the Force for the first time, pulling the very same lightsaber out of, you guessed it, snow.
No, Dad,
Number
I'm recording
5,
a YouTube
Qui-Gon
video,
Jinn and
dude.
Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Maul. This, in my opinion, has the best choreography of any lightsaber battle.
It's okay.
Fast, precise, and exciting. The
My dad
soundtrack,
is
Duel of the Fates, is incredible.
I don't like that
And the
battle.
location of the fight is so visually pleasing. Lucas also made the environment of the fight affect how it went when Obi-Wan can't get to Qui-Gon and Maul in time. I remember watching this on DVD for the first time when I was around the age of 6, and even then, I was touched and shocked by Qui-Gon's death, which I never saw coming. Number 4, Darth Sidious versus Darth Maul and Savage Opress. This is hands down the best lightsaber battle in the Clone Wars show. The first line pays tribute to the original Star Wars films.
I sense a presence. A presence I've not felt since...
Master.
Then we see Sidious kick ass with 2 lightsabers while he laughs as he just toys with them. They make each strike of his lightsaber so powerful.
Insane,
Once
guys.
again, they have an Easter egg. This is the exact situation as Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon versus Maul. Only this time, Maul is in Obi-Wan's shoes when Savage gets killed right in front of him. Maul then fights harder than ever against Sidious, just as Obi-Wan fought harder than ever against Maul. It's sort of poetic justice. The end of the fight.
Saving 10% or more is easy with mobile-only prices on the Booking.com app.
Guys, I'm watching the Clone Wars
Fight
series
leads right into the
now.
Darth Maul comics, which is really cool.
I'm not going to kill you. I have other uses for you.
Wait, how is
Number
Darth Maul
3,
still alive?
Luke
He died.
Skywalker versus Darth Vader and Darth Sidious. This is the fight that brought the original trilogy to a close.
How
and
is
later
Darth Maul
brought
still
the
alive?
6
He got
films to a
killed in
close. The sheer amount of
when
conflict
Obi-Wan
going through
fought
both
him.
Luke and Vader was so interesting to watch. Every great hero struggles with temptation at some point during their journey. And for Luke, this was that moment. Seeing him smash on his father was so incredible. There's no choreography here. It's just pure anger, confusion, and temptation. When Luke cuts off his father's hand, and then looks at his robotic hand, it dawns on him that he's headed down the same path as his father, and he makes the choice not to follow in his father's footsteps.
I'll never turn to the dark side. You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
And Vader decides to do the same thing, this time following in his son's footsteps. He saves Luke and kills Sidious. He then fulfills the prophecy when he asks Luke to take his helmet off. The prophecy that so many people thought to be wrong when Anakin turned to the dark side turned out to be right. It just had a different way of playing out. He destroyed the Sith, killing both Sidious and himself.
But you'll die.
Nothing can stop that now.
Number 2, Ahsoka Tano versus Darth Vader. This is one of the most powerful confrontations in my opinion. It perfectly bridges the Clone Wars with Star Wars Rebels in the most epic way possible. The fight is driven by the nostalgia of the original show, which makes this fight mean so much. Anakin felt that Ahsoka had abandoned him, and this had a big part of him turning to the dark side.
Ahsoka, why did you leave? Where were you?
What the heck is happening?
Vader's entrance alone is so epic, and to see the old master and the old apprentice meet each other for the first time since Ahsoka left him heartbroken at the Jedi Temple is just so powerful. The part that hits you the hardest is when Ahsoka cuts part of Vader's helmet off, and we hear both James Earl Jones' voice mixed with Matt Lanter's voice, who played Anakin in the Clone Wars series.
Ahsoka.
Anakin.
I get chills every time. And if that wasn't enough, Ahsoka says that she won't leave him like she left him at the temple.
I won't leave you. Not this time.
The suspense builds as the two face each other. You wonder what he's going to say. You hope he'll forgive her. You hope she'll be able to help him. And then he says,
Then you will die.
This scene is so incredibly well done, and is probably the best scene in both the Clone Wars and Rebels in my opinion. And the fact that it left you on a cliffhanger is even more heart-pounding. Number 1, Anakin Skywalker versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm sure that most of you saw this coming. This is what fans have been waiting for since the announcement of the second trilogy of films in 1994.
Oh my gosh, it's so quick!
It was the final battle, the final puzzle piece on how Anakin got in the suit. The final showdown between Master and Apprentice. We saw Obi-Wan go from Anakin's father figure,
You're the closest thing I have to a father.
to being his brother. Obi-Wan was reluctant to fight him because the two were so close.
I will not kill Anakin. He is like my brother.
With the backstory we know for the fight, and what we know will happen in the future, makes this fight the missing piece, the thing that will bridge the two trilogies together. It's been in Lucas's head since the 70s, and he knew the two had an epic showdown, and when it was finally realized, it did not disappoint. The visual elements are absolutely outstanding. The lava, the risky jumps and flips, barely dodging death, and so much more. This fight has so much to offer, both emotionally and visually. The ending is by far the best part, as Obi-Wan yells down to his fallen apprentice.
You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
Obi-Wan doesn't have the courage to kill Anakin. Obi-Wan walking away led to the creation of a monster. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
I think we should do another one on Star Wars myths. Well, let's restart this one.
We just had the most amazing family vacation. Let's go! Oh my god!
Opponents. The rebels seem like a ragtag bunch. As one of the most popular franchises in all of pop culture, fans spend a lot of time dissecting each frame of a Star Wars film. The saga is a touchstone for generations of moviegoers, meaning that many people are well versed in each of their secrets. But even the most die-hard supporters can get stumped every now and then. There are aspects of the movies that have yet to be revealed. Here are Screen Rant's 10 Star Wars mysteries that were never answered. Anakin's conception. In episode 1, it said that Anakin was born without a father, and his mother Shmi can't explain what happened. It's a subject that's not really touched upon again until Revenge of the Sith, when Chancellor Palpatine tells Anakin the story of Darth Plagueis. Sidious's old master Plagueis could manipulate the midichlorians to create life, but the film stops short of saying this is how Skywalker was conceived. It's a reveal George Lucas had planned in the original script, but he cut it, and now the answer may never be known. It makes us wonder why the miracle birth angle was introduced in the first place. Vader doesn't sense Leia. Darth Vader is one of the most powerful Force users in the galaxy, so why couldn't he sense his own daughter? In Return of the Jedi, viewers learn that Leia is Luke's twin sister, and therefore one of Vader's children. It retroactively creates a plot hole since Vader never felt something in the Force that hinted at that. During the Death Star trench run, he was very aware that Luke was strong with the Force, and Leia, while no Jedi, was still able to use it. Vader should have been able to sense the presence of another Force-sensitive being, especially when he's standing right in front of her. Yoda's species. Every alien and creature that shows up in the Star Wars films has a name. Many of them, like Wookiees, Ewoks, and Hutts, go down in history and become memorable parts of the mythology. But ask anyone what Yoda's species is, and there will be no answer. The wise old Jedi Master is just shown as a small green alien with pointy ears, with no mention of what his species is called. Even when another of Yoda's people, Yaddle, was shown in the prequels, the answer was never revealed. This is one that will puzzle Star Wars fans forever and is unlikely to ever be solved. Luke's Dagobah training. In The Empire Strikes Back, Luke heads to Dagobah to train with Yoda, while his friends fly in the Millennium Falcon trying to avoid the Imperials. The way the film is edited, it seems like Luke was with Yoda for just a few days learning the ways of the Force. But that hardly seems like enough time to become a Jedi Knight. That's a process that should take months, but it's hard to believe Han, Leia, and Chewie spent that much time cooped up in the Falcon evading their enemies. Fans will just have to use their imagination to come up with the proper answer, since this topic won't be covered again. The Maker of the Prophecy. When he discovers Anakin, Qui-Gon determines that the boy is the chosen one a Jedi prophecy speaks of, one who will bring balance to the Force. It's a way to underscore Anakin's importance to galactic events. But the prophecy is one of the more mysterious elements of the whole saga. Nobody mentions where it came from, who wrote it, or why it's so important to bring balance to the Force. And given that there are dark side users in The Force Awakens, it seems like a hopeless cause anyway. The Chosen One trope can work sometimes, but the case can be made it should be left out of Star Wars. Is Boba Fett alive? Fans were very disappointed when bounty hunter Boba Fett met a less than noble end at the Sarlacc pit, wishing that the villain could have stayed longer or died with more dignity. His lack of screen time in the original trilogy has contributed to his rise in popularity, and viewers want to see more of it. The debate rages on that Boba could still be alive, having escaped the Sarlacc. The new Star Wars canon has yet to answer this, with the only clue being the appearance of Mandalorian armor in the novel Aftermath. If a Boba Fett spin-off movie is in the works, fans may discover the truth. Who discovered the Force? The Star Wars films present only a snippet of the universe's vast history, leaving much more left to be explored. Obi-Wan mentions that the Jedi were the guardians of the Old Republic for over 1,000 generations, meaning the Force had to have been discovered a long, long time ago. It would be an interesting story to see unfold since the Force is such a unique and fascinating concept. Learning that you can control objects with your mind and sense people's presences is a monumental, life-changing event, and it's something that had huge ramifications on the galaxy. Who's funding the rebels? The Empire has plenty of resources at their disposal to wage a war, since their reach covers several areas of the galaxy. But what about their opponents? The rebels seem like a ragtag bunch struggling to make ends meet, yet they have a number of ships and supplies they need for the conflict, and that stuff probably doesn't come cheap. It's hinted that certain sympathizing systems like Alderaan may supply some funds, but it's something fans never know for sure. Since the Rebel Alliance emerges victorious, their financial sources are the real heroes of the saga who never get a moment in the spotlight.
You guys want to see a...
Obi-Wan's Tatooine vacation. After the fall of the Jedi Order, Obi-Wan Kenobi goes into exile on Tatooine so he can keep a close eye on young Luke. But with 19 years taking place between episodes 3 and 4, it's hard to believe that all Obi-Wan did was babysit. While he probably remained low-key to avoid attention, Kenobi probably found some adventures to be had in the desert world as he waited for Luke to get old enough to start Jedi training. With rumors of an Obi-Wan standalone film refusing to go away, fans may just get to see what he was up to before the original movie began. Where's Lando? Introduced in The Empire Strikes Back, Lando Calrissian is a major player in the final 2 installments of the original trilogy, even helping destroy the second Death Star. It's odd then that he seems to have no presence in the new films. Lando does not appear in The Force Awakens, and he isn't even mentioned. To some fans, Lando is as important to the franchise as Luke, Han, and Leia, and with Episode 7 playing catch-up, it would have been nice to know Lando's state. Billy D. Williams was not part of the recently announced Episode 8 cast, so unless there's a surprise, his time in the war may be over, without anyone knowing
Lando
why.
does come back.
Those are our picks for 10 unanswered Star Wars mysteries. Are there any we missed? Which ones leave you the most confused? Sound off in the comment section below.
Alright guys, I think I'm going to end the video there. I'll see you guys later. And hope you have a good day. Oh, and don't get too breakable. Because if you're a subscriber, you better be unbreakable. Because I am unbreakable.